from York, Pennsylvania.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for joining the call and giving us your association, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Vrindavan Prabhuji from Pennsylvania. And today Prabhuji will enlighten us on Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 7, Chapter 6, verse 24 onwards. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please take over the call.
Hare Krishna. One second, Prabhuji. ज्ञानतिम्रान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जन शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवै गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशातारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम् देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्ठकी। शृण्वतां स्वकथा कृष्णा पुण्य श्रवण कीर्तना हृदयन्तस्थो हि अभद्राणि विधुनोति सुरक्षताम्। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंद गोप कुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। गोविंदाय नमो नमः। गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. So today we are reading from Canto 7, Chapter 6, verse 24. तस्मात् सर्वेषु भूतेषु दया तस्मात् सर्वेषु भूतेषु दयां कुरुत सौहृदम् भावं मासुरम् उन्मुच्य यया तुष्यति अधोक्षजा। Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, my dear young friends, born of demons, please act in such a way that the Supreme Lord, who is beyond the conception of material knowledge, will be satisfied. Give up your demoniac nature and act without enmity or duality. Show mercy to all living entities by enlightening them in devotional service, thus becoming their well-wishers. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 18:55, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvataha. One can understand the Supreme Personality as he is only by devotional service. Prahlad Maharaj ultimately instructed his class friends, the sons of demons, to accept the process of devotional service by preaching the science of Krishna consciousness to everyone. Preaching is the best service to the Lord. The Lord will immediately be extremely satisfied with one who engages in the service of preaching Krishna consciousness. This is confirmed by Lord himself in Bhagavad Gita 18:69. Nacha tasman manusyeshu kaschin me priyakrittamah. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. If one sincerely tries his best to spread Krishna consciousness by preaching the glories of the Lord and his supremacy, even if he is imperfectly educated, he becomes the dearmost servant of Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is Bhakti. As one performs this service for humanity without discrimination between friends and enemies, the Lord becomes satisfied and the mission of one's life is fulfilled. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore advised everyone to become a Guru devotee and preach Krishna consciousness. Yare dekha tare kaha Krishna upadesh. That is the easiest way to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By such preaching, the preacher becomes satisfied, and those whom he preaches are also satisfied. This is the process of bringing peace and tranquility to the entire world. Bhoktaram yag tapsam sarvalok maheshwaram suhrdam sarvabhutanam gyato mam santim rakshati. One is expected to understand these three formulas of knowledge concerning the Supreme Lord. That he is the supreme enjoyer, that he is the proprietor of everything, and that he is the best well-wisher and friend of everyone. A preacher should personally understand these truths and preach them to everyone. Then there will be peace and tranquility all over the world. The word Sauhrdam, friendliness, is very significant in this verse. People are generally ignorant of Krishna consciousness, and therefore to become their best well-wisher, one should teach them about Krishna consciousness without discrimination. Since the Supreme Lord, Vishnu, is situated in the core of everyone's heart, every body is a temple of Vishnu. One should not misuse this understanding as an excuse for such words as Daridra Narayan. If Narayan lives in the house of a Daridra, a poor man, this does not mean that Narayan becomes poor. He lives everywhere in the houses of the poor and those of the rich. But in all circumstances, he remains Narayan. To think that he becomes either poor or rich is a material calculation. It always Shad Ashwarya Purna, full in 6 opulences in all circumstances. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this is a beautiful verse from 6th chapter, which is named by Prabhupada that Prahlad Maharaj instruct his schoolmates, his demoniac schoolmates. So Prahlad Maharaj, during the lunch break, is instructing his Asura friends, which are all the sons of Asuras. So he's preaching to his classmates. He's telling them that everything taught by our teachers in the class is useless. So we must all follow the Bhagavad Dharma to please the Lord. What is Bhagavad Dharma? To please the Lord, to satisfy the Lord. It is very easy. And he tells them in the previous verse that it's very easy. Why it is very easy? Because that's our natural situation. That is our natural position. It's like a fish. A fish is fish out of water is not comfortable. Fish in water is her natural habitat. So fish is very comfortable. She can live for all its life inside the water. But fish outside the water is not comfortable because that is not her natural habitat. That's not her natural environment for the fish body. Same thing for human beings. We are all that's our natural position. Our natural position is that we are all parts and parcel of the Lord. We are all being Ansha of the Lord. We are all spiritual beings. Krishna consciousness is inherent in us. It's hidden. This is, we don't need to attain Krishna consciousness. We have to just remove, we have to get this, it is being covered by this Maya Devi, the material energy of the Lord or the external energy of the Lord. As soon as this curtain of Maya Devi is removed, that is our natural position. That is our natural constitutional position. And that is why it is very easy. In material world, to become successful in material world is very, very not only difficult, it's impossible. In material world, you cannot please everyone. You cannot fulfill all your desires. You cannot be successful in material world. That's impossible. So we say the spiritual life might be difficult. Why it is difficult? Because of our conditioning from so many lifetimes. We're conditioning from so many lifetimes. So that's why when we try to discipline ourselves, follow the 4 regulative principles, to the chanting, to the service, all that becomes little, takes little time. But so spiritual life might be little difficult, but material life is impossible. Material life is impossible. It is designed to get frustrated at the end. And everyone on this call, you might have this experience. The material life cannot, ultimately it's designed to be, get frustrated at the end. So this verse here is talking about 2 points. And the first point is, Prahlad Maharaj is telling his friends that Asuram Bhavam Unmuchya. So Asuram Bhavam, give up this Asuram Bhavam, Asura demoniac nature, give up that. And Prabhupada translates that, what is that demoniac nature? To discriminate. The devotees, they don't discriminate. Pure devotees, there's no discrimination. They see every living being as a soul. Pandita samdarshana, suni chav swapake cha pandita samdarshana. So pure devotees, they are seeing other living beings. They're not discriminating. That's one point what this verse is highlighting. And the second point, what is highlighted is affection and mercy to all beings. This is the verse, Prahlad Maharaj saying, Lord can very easily be satisfied. Lord can very easily be pleased if we do these 2 things. We give up our demoniac nature, give up your demoniac nature, and just be compassionate to other living beings, become their well-wisher, be affectionate to them. And that these 2 things, just these 2 things, Lord will be Yaya Tushyati Adhokshaja. Yaya Tushyati Adhokshaja. Tushyat is Lord will be satisfied. Lord will be pleased. A spiritual life, that is what we are trying to do. We are trying to please the Lord. We are trying to please the Lord. And these 2 things, if we do it, Lord will be pleased. That is what Prahlad Maharaj is telling his friends, his school, his classmates here. So we may have a question here that this is saying, why satisfying the living beings is pleasing to Krishna? How that some of us may have that question. If we serve Samarasika Mataji. So it's very, I can please Samarasika Mataji. But if we serve Samarasika Mataji, how will the Rupini Mataji is going to be pleased? Here it is saying in this verse, if you serve the devotees, Lord will be pleased. Why is that? Why is it so? Because living, there are two reasons for that. One is we are all parts and parcels of the Lord. He is our eternal Father. So once we see that in the material world also. We see in the material world, if someone is glorifying or appreciating or praising your son or daughter, you become happy. Is that not true? We all become happy when our son or daughter, they are being praised or appreciated by other people like now. Same thing. So if you serve that, so if we serve the devotees, serve the other people like now, not only devotees or non-devotees, we serve everyone else, all other living beings, even non-human beings. We serve them, that pleases the Lord. The second reason why serving others pleases the Lord is because Lord is staying in our heart. Not only in our heart, Lord is staying in the heart of all the living beings. So when we serve them, we are worshipping the Lord. We are also, the Lord becomes every body. Prabhupada said in the purport that every body is a temple of Lord. When a temple of Lord, the Lord is pleased. So by serving others, we can please the Lord. But what is very satisfying and pleasing to the Lord. So, and Lord says in many places that serving my devotees is even higher than my direct worship. Mad bhaktya puja avidika. So, also this Prabhupada is talking in this purport that preaching is the best service to the Lord. So you want to serve, how to serve, it's preaching is the best service. And we give that example of that lost son of a billionaire's father. So what is the best service to living beings? To connect them back to God. Connect them back to God. Just help them materially is good, but the ultimate service is that connecting them back to their father. They're lost. We are all lost sons. We are all lost sons. If we connect them back to their father, it's a billionaire father, they're going to get all those comforts because they're son of a billionaire father. They've forgotten their position, and that's why they are suffering. We're all forgotten our relationship with the Lord. That's why we are suffering. Otherwise, we are not son of, we are son of the Supreme Lord Himself. So this is the best service, to connect them back to the living beings, connect the living beings back to their Father, and that is the best service. And how can we do it? We can do it by preaching. So this verse brings out the nice nice point about preaching. By preaching, we can satisfy the Lord very easily. By preaching, we can satisfy the Lord. So preaching is the best. That's why Prabhupada says that preaching is the best service to the Lord. Preaching. So why sometimes the question may be that why not other services? Why not cleaning the temple? Why not cooking bhoga for the Lord? Why not washing pots in the kitchen? Why not managing the temple? What about other services? We are saying that preaching is the best service to the Lord. Why is preaching the best service to the Lord, or most satisfying to the Lord? So this is, preaching is most satisfying to the Lord, as Bhagavad Gita 1868 and 1869 says. Because Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says that preaching is the best service because there are three things going on in the preaching. The first thing is the Sravanam, Kirtanam, and Smaranam. All these three, the very potent forms of devotional service, they are going on while we are preaching. The speaker, when the speaker is speaking, and the audience or the devotees in the are listening, the audience is listening to the Stravanam and Kirtanam. Is speaking, is hearing himself, audience is hearing, listening, and Smarnam. Smarnam is also going on. So these three things are going on together. Out of this nine Navadha Bhakti, the first three, the most important, most potent forms of devotional service is going on while we are preaching. So how can other services, all these Sravanam, Kirtanam and Smarnam may not be happening? While we are washing the pots in the kitchen, we might not be doing that. We might not be doing Kirtan. We might not be remembering the Lord. So the trick is whatever service you are doing in the temple, just try to incorporate these three things: Sravanam, Kirtanam, and Smarnam. Then that becomes very pleasing to the Lord. So we see that example of Jayananda Prabhu. Jayananda Prabhu, whose picture is put on the Rath Yatra card during the Yatra, because he was expert in preaching while he was fixing the cart. And that is how my spiritual master, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami, when he came to the ISKCON movement, he was first introduced to the ISKCON in LA. He met Jayananda Prabhu and he was fixing the cart, and he engaged him in the service, and also he preached while he was doing other service, fixing the cart service. So this is the expertise of the devotees. Whatever service they are given, whatever service they are given, assigned to, they can use that service and incorporate this Sravanam, Kirtanam and Smarnam. Other point the Prabhupada is making in this purport is that by preaching, the preacher is satisfied. The preacher is satisfied because he's talking about Krishna. The preacher is satisfied, persons being preached are satisfied, and the Lord is satisfied. And Prabhupada finally says the whole world is satisfied. Because if the Lord is satisfied, Lord is the watering the roots of the tree, so that nourishes the whole tree. And Lord is the root of all of us. We are Ansha, and He is the whole, He is Vibhu. So when we please the Lord, if He is satisfied, everyone else, we all are satisfied. So they say the whole world is satisfied. And that is, we see that example of Draupadi's Akshay Patra story. When Durvasha Muni with his 10,000 disciples, he comes, and when the Lord is satisfied just by this taking the grain stuck on that pot, and all these disciples of Durvasha Muni and Durvasha Muni himself, they were satisfied. So this is, most of us might have experienced this satisfaction while preaching. While you are giving class, we are distributing books, or so you might have experienced. The preaching does not mean sitting on the Vyasasana and giving the class. Preaching is connecting the other human beings, non-devotees, to the Lord. Or even preaching to the devotees, like less neophyte devotees. If you're helping them to progress, advance in their Krishna consciousness, that is also preaching like bringing the new devotees to the temple. That's also preaching like. The preaching is may have many forms. So the underlying principle is connecting those living beings to the Lord, to the Lord Krishna. That is preaching. So sadhaka, so in our different stages, we feel different satisfaction. How the sadhaka is satisfied? Sadhaka is satisfied because his bhakti becomes steady. If most of us, we are all in sadhana stage. We are following this Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. So when we are preaching, our bhakti becomes, our sadhana becomes steady, our bhakti becomes steady, and we are going to we in future we are going to get our we are going to get fixed in this bhakti. It becomes much easier to fix our consciousness on the Lord. The pure devotees, they are that's in their nature, that's inherent in their nature. When they talk, they just glorify Krishna. They don't talk anything else. They just, whenever they talk, whenever they open their mouth, the glorification of Krishna is coming out. This is their life is maintained by preaching. For pure devotee, they cannot live without preaching. It is their very nature. They only talk about Krishna. So that is the pure devotees. Bhagavad Gita 1868 says, Yaidam paramam guhyam madbhakteshva abhidhasyati bhaktim mai param kritva mam ivashyati ashamshayah. Yaidam paramam guhyam. Lord is saying this supreme secret, param guhyam. Param is like the supermost, superlative degree. So, Yaidam paramam guhyam. Guhyam is confidential. This knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is not ordinary. It's supreme secret. What Lord has given in Bhagavad Gita. Yaidam paramam guhyam mad bhakteshu abhidhasyati. If someone tells this message of Bhagavad Gita to others who don't know, most of the people in this world, they don't know. They're all suffering. But they are suffering. We have somehow, by the mercy of some devotees, or mercy of devotees, we have been fortunate enough to receive this bhakti, or this bhakti lata bees, the seed of the bhakti. We have received it just because of the mercy of some devotees. So now it's our job to pass that on. Because some devotees, they have showered their mercy on us. That's why we are in this process. We have got this seed. Now we are trying to water that seed so that it becomes a bhakti lata, becomes a lata, or a plant of bhakti. But same thing, now it's our duty. It's our duty that we pass it on. We give it to others, connect others to the Lord. भक्त उसे क्या होगा? Bhakti mai param kritva. If you do that, bhakti mai, you'll receive. The Lord is Lord Himself is saying. Lord is saying, bhakti mai param kritva. You become mai, you'll get the pure devotional service is guaranteed. Prabhupada is saying, translating, pure devotional service is guaranteed. Is that not the aim, goal of everything we are doing? To get the pure devotional service. Just by preaching, you can get the pure devotional service. And at the end, he will, Mam ivashyati asamshaya. Without doubt, he will come back to me. So that's the success. That's the success of our devotional life or spiritual life. And the Lord did not stop there. In the next verse, he says, Nacha tasman manuseshu kaschin me priya krattamaha bhavita na chame tasman anya priyataru bhuvi. There are many verses. Lord says, okay, that devotee who does this is dear to me. But if you notice what Lord is saying here, bhavita na chame tasman. There is no more in this world. There is no more dear to me than the devotee who preaches this message of Bhagavad Gita to others. He said the most dear. There is no one else in this world who is more dear to me. And then he does not stop there. He adds there, nor will there ever be one more dear. He said, if there is no more dear to me in this world, this person who preaches this message of Bhagavad Gita is the most dear to me, and in future also there will be no one else will be more dear to me. You don't see this kind of emphasis what Lord is giving on the preaching like that. That's why preaching is the best service. That is why Prabhupada is saying that preaching is the best service. Connecting people to the Lord, connecting the people to the Krishna consciousness process. That is the best form of service. So this is, we have got it. We have gotten it because the mercy of the devotees. Let us pass it on. Let us pass it on. Think about different ways we all can preach like now. We are all have, in our original constitutional position, we all have a service in the spiritual world. That is our original swarupa. So we all, that's why we all have some other good quality like now. And we have to just dovetail that quality into preaching, into connecting the other living beings, other human, other non-devotees to the Lord, to the process. And that is going to please the Lord. And that's a very easy process like now. So Lord, and sometimes like no, sometimes to his pure devotees, Lord tells to his pure devotees that how that they should preach. And Lord is like Srila Prabhupada was talking with Tamal Krishna Maharaj. He was talking to Tamal Krishna Maharaj, and he told him that Krishna had asked him to go down to the material world and preach. The Prabhupada was in the spiritual world with the Lord, and Lord asked him to go down to the material world and preach. And he said, you go write books, and then after, then you can come back to. So this is, this is what he told Tamal Krishna Maharaj. So those are, he is not an Prabhupada, like pure devotees. They are, some of them, they are sent by the Lord for our, to reclaim the lost souls like us back to Godhead, back to spiritual world. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, she said that if anyone who is not preaching, if we are not preaching, then we are dead. We are equivalent. We're not, we might be breathing, but that's of no use. We are dead. So that's why we all have to preach. That is our, we are indebted to that. We are grateful. Out of gratitude, we should preach like now. Because someone has given this to us. Out of their mercy, we have to pass that mercy like now. Pass on that mercy and connect with others. So this is everyone, we all have to think about it. What service we like, and what skills we have, and how we can connect, or how can we preach like now. And that's and please and serve the Lord. If you're not preaching Krishna consciousness, everyone is preaching something or else. Like when you're dressed up nicely, you're marketing yourself, you are preaching yourself, like everyone wants to look beautiful, look beautiful. We see around, there's so many advertisements, like ads on the TV. Buy this oil and you'll get more mileage from your car. Buy this cream and you will look younger. There's a special sale going on. Buy one, get one free. So this is all that the different Maya ka prachar already is going on. Maya ka prachar is growing and growing, and it's not stopping like now. So we have to do our prachar. We have to also preach Krishna consciousness. Maya ka, otherwise we are all part of that Maya ka prachar. With all this internet in our hand, at the press of one button, we all have all this information available. Like we're all like being Maya ka prachar to chali raha hai. So we have to do preach Krishna consciousness. Preaching is the essence of creation right now. This material world has not been created by the Lord for our enjoyment. This material, the purpose of this creation is that we can understand ourselves, why we are here, who are we. We can understand the Lord, we can revive our relationship with the Lord, and that we can go back to Godhead, not alone, along with others like now. When I say along with others means you preach, and it's not only that you go back to Godhead, you take others also along with you like now. the people who you have preached, other devotees who have been, whom you have passed on your mercy, you have preached them, you have connected them with the process, they're also sooner or later go back to Godhead. So this is the purpose of the whole creation. Purpose like the is not to enjoy. Srila Prabhupada, he initiated Bhavanand Prabhu. He initiated Bhavanand Prabhu, and so Bhavanand Prabhu thought his name is Bhavanand. So Bhavanand, so he was very happy. So like, yeah, this Prabhupada is giving me a nice name. I'll be at the Bhava stage, and Bhava stage, and I'll be relishing that Ananda, Bhavanand, Ananda, which one experiences at the Bhava stage. Then he asked Prabhupada, is that my right interpretation? Prabhupada said, no, you're not Bhavanand, you're Bhavanand. Bhavanand, Bhav Anand, the Bhav Anand. So this is Anand of this material world. This is like, but there's no Ananda in this material world. If there's no Ananda in this material world, Prabhupada said the only Ananda in this material world is Ananda of preaching. There is no Ananda in this material world. This is Dukhalyam Ashashwatam. Anityam Asukham Lokam. So there's nothing, there's no Ananda here. But only Ananda, what is Ananda of preaching. If you are here preaching Krishna consciousness, you can experience that Ananda. So it is human nature that if you like something, you want to share it with others. It's natural. If you see something, what you like it, you come home and try to tell your husband or wife or children like what you like. It's human nature. So we are in this process. We like this process because we are there for long, some time. So let us give it to others. Like संसार के प्रचार में तो धोखा भी हो सकता है. संसार के प्रचार में it's all cheating going on in संसार. So this is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj tells one story. It says there was one circus came in the town, and they were advertising that's a unique circus, like unique circus that if you buy a ticket, you will only be only person in the stadium, and the whole circus will be carried out or performed or staged for you only. So for every person, so you'll be, and it's that time Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj tells this story. That time he said the ticket was do ana. Do ana is like, and for the newer generation may not understand that, but do ana is like 12 paise. 12 paise in Indian currency like now. That time. So those were the times. Like nowadays, you don't even find those coins of ana coins like now anymore. So this circus, there was a big queue. Since like 3 o'clock in the morning, people are lining up in the queue. Okay, like this is going to be very special. I'm going to be the only one in the arena, and the whole circus will perform for me. So the circus in the morning it started, and the first person went inside. He was seated on a palanquin, and he was continuous chamra was being done, and the 4 people like this is holding him on the paliki, and that they nicely with the royalty, he was given a VIP royal treatment, and he was taken inside the arena, circus arena, and there he saw that there's a big chair, big singhashan like and he was seated there, and he was seated there, waiting for circus to start. And then he saw that one pahalwan comes. One pahalwan comes with the hunter in his hand, and he comes and he started beating him. And he started beating him like this person was completely bewildered. Like, why are you beating me? Like, I came to see the circus like now. And they beat him. And after that, after the time was over, they put him again in the palanquin. And with doing the chamar and everything, they with music, the gaja baja, the beating the drums and all, they brought him outside. Again, the other people in the line, they were asking, how was it? How was it? They don't know. So this guy, so it's like, why I don't want to be look bad. Like, no, I don't know what I did that they treated me like this. But he told them, yeah, it was very good, very good. Like this is मैं बिल्कुल बयान नहीं कर सकता इतना अच्छा था तो don't worry. So second person was very excited. He went there. He was also treated the same way, and he was beaten. And when he came out, he told others, "Yeah, it was very good." He didn't want to look a fool. He thought, "I'm the only one treated like this. Maybe I don't want others to think about that I'm stupid and I'm fool." Like, yeah, it was very good. बिल्कुल बयान नहीं कर सकता. It's nice. So that is how this samsara is. That is how we are all suffering. But we're all suffering, but we are all like what? Punascharvit charvita naam. That is what is going on here like now. This is how the sansar is. We are suffering, dukhalya mashachatam, and we also experience that every day. We experience that every day, how we are being kicked left and right by this material energy of the Lord. But we still, we keep on trying. Punascharvit charvita naam. There is no taste, but we still keep on. We are still hoping that, yeah, this is like I'm still going to get some happiness here. This is how this world is designed. ये संसार का जो प्रचार है वो ऐसा ही है. This Maharaj was telling, like, I forgot the name, who was he? He was telling that when he was in Canada and he was flying to New Delhi. So from Canada, he was flying to New Delhi, and then he went to the airport. I think it was a Toronto airport or somewhere that time, like 40 years back. And he saw that a slogan there. He said the slogan of Canadian Airlines that fly to India and be happy. Fly to New Delhi and be happy. So that was the fly to India and be happy. And he took that flight, and when he got down at the New Delhi airport, and he saw that same airlines have different slogan that fly to Canada and be happy. So this is the cheating going on. It's in Maya ka jo prachar hai. That is the cheating going on. What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Bharat bhumte haila manusya janma yar janma sarthak kari kar parupakar. So this is the helping others, serving others, that is parupakar. So Srila Prabhupada, once there was a Vishal Prabhu. So Vishal Prabhu, he was a devotee, and he was like neophyte devotee when Prabhupada was in Vrindavan, and he was in his room. And Vishal Prabhu came and he asked Prabhupada, what is the duty of a member of ISKCON? And this Prabhupada immediately replied, he says, like, be Krishna conscious and help others to become Krishna conscious. So not only be Krishna conscious, but help others to become Krishna conscious. That is what Prabhupada replied. So this is as a preacher, like now. So when we are a preacher, then we are required. When we require that our consciousness, we should be detached in our consciousness. We cannot. We can be in any ashram. We can be in grahastha ashram or any other ashram, but mentally we should be detached. Externally, we may not look like we are detached, but mentally we should be detached. Thus, keeping the being attached with this material, being with this material world is sansar, and also being also trying to be attached to the Lord does not work. That's it's like keeping one leg on each board. That does not work. In a spiritual process, we need to, when we follow the process, you will see that mental detachment slowly will get that detachment. When we are serving, as a devotee, when we are serving others, when we are helping others, we are thinking about others. Like whenever you think about, This life is not meant for taking and taking life. Life is meant for giving. If you really want to experience the bliss, ananda, and happiness, or this, then you try to give, try to help others, try to preach, try to do good for others, think the good for others. How can I help others, like to make them happy? When you make them happy, you will become happy. That is the law. That's the law of nature. Like when you help others, you become happy. When you throw a ball, it bounces back on you. Like when you give charity, you get more in return. Like in future, like now, when you give happiness to others, it multiplies and comes back to you. Like now, if you help others, it multiplies and come back to you. Come back to you to help you in the future in some or other form. So this is the law of nature. We need to understand that. Our problem is we are so miser. Most of the time, we are just thinking about how can I be happy? How can this person serve me? How can this my wife serve me? How can my husband serve me? How can my children? We are not thinking about serving others like that. And devotee means developing that attitude to serve others like, not having this consciousness of how you can be served, like how can I serve others. So we have to think about it and we should try to serve others. Or agar hum pareshan hai, how can we make others happy? Like if we are not peaceful, how can we make others peaceful? Like now, and that's why if you are serving others, if you are helping others, like that joy of serving, that happiness, the joy of serving, you forget your own problems. You forget your own problems. You forget, and so this is the principle: is whatever you give, you'll get back at a later date. They start giving like now. This is think about the others' benefit, and you'll become happy. That is what Prabhupada is saying. So this is most of the time, like when you're not you're not in that consciousness of serving others. Like so, what is your consciousness? Your consciousness is always like how if you go to any gathering, your consciousness is centered to yourself, and you think, how am I looking like now? How am I looking? Am I dressed up nicely? Am I dressed up better than the next person and a person next to me? How am I like? Are my hairs good? That is, there is a self-consciousness. It's self-consciousness, but when you're thinking about others, like helping others, like you can get out of this self-consciousness. Like the most of the people, that is what their self-consciousness. Or so this is what happens. Like there was a book distributor. Like there's a new devotee was distributing books. Like nobody was like, he was not successful. No one was took the book and was trying for hours. And finally, he found someone who took the Bhagavad Gita from him. And he was so happy. He started dancing on the road itself. Like this is because he was able to give the Bhagavad Gita. So that is the joy you experience. So once this Lord Krishna was going to herd the cows with Balram, and he looked at the tree. Then he said, like, Etavad janma safalyam dehi nama dehishu prane arthe diya vacha sreya acharanam sada. So etavad janam safalyam. So if you can make your life successful on Dehinam Dehishu. Dehinam, we all the embodied, which we have for us who have gotten the bodies. So how? Prane arthe diya vacha sreya acharanam sada. The pran apne, even with our pran, arth with our money, with our wealth, diya with our buddhi, vacha with our words, all that what we should do, Shreya Acharanam Sada. Shreyas, there are two things, Shreyas and Preyas. So Shreyas is for ultimate good or for long-term good. Preyas is for immediate or short-term good or immediate good. So he says, Lord is saying here that you should focus on Shreyas, not Preyas. In short term, whatever looks good or whatever looks attractive, may not be attractive in the long term, like no. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is talking to Haridas Thakur. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes to Haridas Thakur and he asked Haridas Thakur, how would Yavanas be delivered? Yavanas means Muslims. Yavanas means Muslims. So he says, how will they be delivered? Like they're not following this process of chanting. How will they be delivered? And Haridas Thakur, how he replied. So these, you see, these pure devotees, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord himself, but you see, these devotees, they're always thinking about how can I help others? Paropakar. Paropakar, like Janam Sarthak Kare par upakar. So upakar, par upakar, helping others, serving others, like no. Haridas Thakur said this, even these Muslim people, like no, and this they use the word haram. So ye haram hai, ye haram hai, ye haram hai, ye. So Quran mein aisa haram hai, haram, haram. So they're also chanting the name of the Ram, and that is how will they be delivered. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got a little bit satisfied, and then he asked him, what about the insects? What about the birds? What about the trees? How will they be delivered? And he say, when the devotees are chanting loudly, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That is how these others living beings, they are going to be delivered. So that's let's not forget the Maya ka prachar to chali raha hai. Maya ka prachar is going on like now. This is but the devotees, devotees, like we should also do preaching of we should also preach Krishna consciousness while the Maya prachar is going on. And we see that Srila Prabhupada showed by his own example. By his own example, he showed us like how he dedicated all his life in preaching. They call this Krishna consciousness as a preaching movement. Like the preaching is the essence. We call the prachar hi sar hai. Preaching is the essence, and that is what we are trying to. We are seeing here in this verse that how the preaching is the essence, how the preaching is the best service. Like तप्यन्ते तप्यन्ते लोकतापेना साधवा प्रसाजना साधवा प्रायशाजना परम आराधनम पुरुषा पुरुषस्य अखिलात्मना. This is paropakar. Tapyante lokatapena. This the sadhu, the sant. वृक्ष कभाऊ नहीं फल भके नदी न संचय नीर परमारथ के कारणे साधुन धरा शरीर साधुन धरा शरीर. तो all the sadhus, they are परमारथ के कारणे साधुन धरा. Sadhu, they're all like there. That is the one thing that is always in their mind. How can I help others? Like that's a constant thought. And he say like they have taken this body just to help others. संत हृदय नवनीत समाना. तो संत हृदय नवनीत समाना. तो संतों का हृदय जो होता है नवनीत is butter. It's like butter. And little bit of problems, they see others suffering, that their heart is like butter and it gets melted. So they shower their compassion. They go out and preach that so that they can help others. They are able to see that how everyone without Krishna consciousness is suffering. So they want their heart, they're so compassionate, their heart is so soft, they're soft like butter, it melts, and they go out and preach. So this is, and we see that how the Prabhupada preached to hippies, like when he came to New York, this is when he came to New York, and he came here in this old age of 69 years old when he came here, and he was what all he has gone through in the Bori street when he was where he was staying. Initially, it was a dirty room. That was the smell of beer and urine was all around. He was using a common toilet. He used to stand in line with the hippies to get to the bathroom and toilet. was a common toilet and common bathroom. People, other hippies, when they smoke, they will like have blow smoke on his face like now. And when he comes out of his room, he'll see the people are drunken and they're like lying there unconscious. So this is so Prabhupada has gone through so much in this age. He's a sannyasi. He was a sannyasi. He was living in Vrindavan. He left everything, all his comfort, just for preaching. He went to, and he went through so much, and because of that, we are sitting here and talking. We have nice temples. We have none of those problems what Prabhupada had gone through. It's already established movement. We have a temple. We have a congregation. We have a service. We are much more comfortable. Prabhupada, when he was in New York, like this is there was a hippie, Michael, like devotee. He was like showing. Became a devotee. He was showing and then he wanted to get married with his girlfriend James. And Prabhupada said, "Okay, I will arrange. I will do everything. I'll do your marriage, Michael and James." So Michael invited her sister, younger sister. Prabhupada cooked the whole feast for their marriage, Michael and James. And Michael invited his younger sister Jones. And that Jones, she asked Prabhupada, "Can I help you?" Prabhupada was and Prabhupada, she was wearing the skirt and top, and Prabhupada was teaching him how to knead the flour. Aata ko kaise goothna hai, how to knead the flour. He was like teaching him, and in between she will say, "Okay, Prabhuji, Prabhupada, I want to go and smoke." And Prabhupada will say, "Okay, you go and smoke." And then she'll come back and say, "Okay, again I want to help." After smoking, Prabhupada will tell, "Okay, wash your hands first like now." And then she'll wash hands and she'll again help. After some time, she'll again go for smoke. This is how Prabhupada had all tolerated all this like now, just for preaching like now. So this is, and we should also, we have much better, and these Jones, that girl Jones, she became Yamuna Mataji later. And she sang that song which we hear in the temple, Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So that is, she became Yamuna Mataji. This is how Prabhupada preached, with patience and tolerance, like going through all that like. So this is, there's so many. One hippie came in and he brought the toilet paper, and Prabhupada, he said, "Prabhupada, I've brought toilet papers for you." Like, and said, "Okay, go and install it." We went and installed the toilet papers, and Prabhupada later said, like, at least he has some serving attitude, is trying to serve. And there are like people like the kind of audience Prabhupada has when he was preaching, was giving class, kind of audience he has like now. So this is one Prabhupada said, if you don't take Krishna consciousness, you may become dog in next life. And this one of the person from the crowd, like, so what? I'll become dog. So that kind of audience, like, they don't see becoming dog is anything wrong. He's like, yeah, no problem, I'll become dog. What's wrong in that? Like, so that's the kind of audience Prabhupada was trying to preach. So it's our gratefulness, like we are indebted. We should have that gratitude for those devotees who have given us the mercy and connected us with this process. And that's why it's our duty that we pass it on, we connect others, we go out and preach, we change our consciousness for being served, from being served to how I can serve others. That is the shift. That is shift we have to make in our consciousness. This is, some people may say, okay, I'm doing my 16 rounds, I'm following my 4 regulative principles. Why? What is the need for me to preach like now? I can increase my rounds. I can go. I'm doing my sadhana. I will go back to Godhead. What is need to preach? So this is we have to preach. We have to preach because Maya ka prachar is chal raha hai and it's growing at a faster speed. So we also have to preach to protect ourselves. We are able to chant this time, but if you don't continue preaching, time will come when people will not be able to chant. If you don't have a conducive environment around, how you are going to do that? Like, so we have to do this preaching. We have to do this preaching so that we can protect ourselves. Not only protect ourselves, also protect Sanatan Dharma. So it's a Dharmo Rakshati, Dharmo Rakshit Rakshita. So this is, and that when we do that, then Dharma is going to protect us. We can be happily continue following Dharma. This Kali Yuga is very, very special. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself has come in this Kali Yuga to give us Krishna Prem so easily. So we need to go out and preach. This is the last, there's three things what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told Sanatana Goswami that, and Jiver Daya Krishna Naam Sarva Dharmasar. So Jiver Daya, Krishna's Naam Ruchi, Jiver Daya and Vaishnav Seva. These three things what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami. And it's, you see the Jiver Daya Krishna Naam Sarva Dharmasar. So all that. So it's 8:22. So I'll give you the last point what we wanted to cover in this purport. Here is preaching without discrimination. What Lord is saying in this verse, Asuram Bhavam Unumuchya. Give up this demoniac tendency of discrimination, considering people friends and enemies, dualities. Just like the devotee, they don't discriminate. They like the pure devotee, Uttama Adhikaris, they see everyone as a soul, not only the human beings, all the living beings. So preaching without discrimination pleases the Lord. So this is, Prabhupada gives an example here in this purport. He says there is a concept of Daridana. And it came from Swami Vivekananda. And he, Daridana, the idea was that serving the poor is like, is equivalent or like serving the Narayan. Because this Narayan is resides within the poor. So serving the poor is like serving Narayan. So, but this very idea had a discrimination hidden in it. Like, is that not? You see, Daridra Narayan, like just like what about the Narayan is also residing in the heart of rich people. Like, why only poor people? Like, why only serving poor people is serving Narayan? Why not serving rich people is also serving Narayan? So that is discrimination. And Prabhupada is mentioned that in purport, that is the devotee, they should preach irrespective of their material situations of the people who we are trying to preach. They all need Krishna consciousness, irrespective of whether they are rich or poor or this or that, woman or man. There should be no discrimination like that. We should preach to everyone who needs it like pure devotees. They do not discriminate. And I'll tell a story and then we'll stop. The Prabhupada in Vrindavan, he was staying at Radha Damodar temple. And the Radha Damodar temple, and Prabhupada was so much engaged in his sadhana and writing books, and like he was so much engaged. Sometimes like he will go outside for madhukari, for bhiksha, and whatever he gets, he'll come back, and he was living very austere life. He was not eating much, but sometimes he used to go out for madhukari. So there was a milk man. Prabhupada sometimes used to go to him, like he'll go to him, and that milkman will give him the milk to Swamiji. That's a culture in India. Like this is, and that time that culture is fading away. But those times, like when someone comes, the sannyasi or sadhu comes to your to ask something, you don't say no. Like you need to give something like that. So this milkman used to give milk to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada used to go there to that milkman for madhukari. And once so happened that Prabhupada did not come for some time, and this milkman was a little worried, because they're all pious people, like they're all pious people. So they were a little worried, and he asked his son, like, why don't you take the milk and go and give it to Swamiji? I have not seen him for a while now. So this son of the milkman, he went to the Prabhupada's with the milk, and he went to his room, and he saw that Prabhupada was like very intensely sitting and chanting in his room. And his room was like in Radha Damodar temple. His room was not like the room what we see today. There was no those times when Prabhupada was there. There was no door on the room. It was just a curtain, the cloth curtain hanging there. It was just room is still small, but it was like there was not. It's very austere, open kind of place, like just some protection. So this is Prabhupada sitting and doing like very intensely chanting. Before he came to US, like he was like prepared himself for a long time. So this milkman's son, he went there with the milk and he saw that Prabhupada was sitting and chanting. And he saw the scorpion, it's like few feet away from Prabhupada. It's like trying to crawl back, going towards Prabhupada. The scorpion. And this milkman, he didn't want, milkman's son, he did not want to disturb Prabhupada, but still like he was getting anxiety, like then the scorpion was little closer and he could not stop himself. Prabhupada, like Swami, like, not Swamiji, like Prabhupada came back from his trance, and looks like he came back, he opened his eyes, and it's like, what happened? So he did not even look at the scorpion immediately, and so like, Prabhupada, there's a scorpion here. Should I sweep him out? Will bring the broom and sweep the scorpion out? Like I'll go and Prabhupada said, no, leave it. Like no, this is this scorpion. She's also a devotee. Like Prabhupada, she's also a devotee. So leave it. Don't disturb her. Like that is the consciousness of a pure devotee. They do not discriminate. They do not discriminate between different living beings. Prabhupada is thought in that situation that the scorpion is also a devotee, so we should not disturb her. We should not do any inconvenience to the scorpion. So that was about discrimination. So very nice purport. The whole summary is that Prabhupada is focusing on preaching. So we talked about how the preaching is the best service, and how we all should be preaching for whatever skills, whatever talent, whatever service we like, we should try. We all should be preaching. Preaching is the essence. And in this verse, Lord, Prahlad Maharaj is saying to his classmates that by preaching, Lord can be pleased very easily. And Lord confirms the same thing in Bhagavad Gita 1869. That person who preaches is the most dear to me, and there will be no one more dear to me in future. So all this we should meditate on these statements of Prahlad Maharaj and Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, and to try to apply in our own lives in whatever way or form we can connect more people. There are so many people suffering without Krishna consciousness. This is our duty. But we have been given by someone, we have received this mercy, so we have to pass on this mercy. It's not random. It's like that we are in this process, we are connected to this process. This is mercy of some devotees. Because of that, we are connected to this process, and we are indebted, and we should pass on this to others. So thank you very much. I'll stop here. Hare Krishna. Granthra Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. आप सभी भक्तजनों की जय. All right, so we can open up for any questions or comments or any realizations you would like to share. Please feel free to do that. What is it? Hare Krishna. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. All goes to Prabhupada. such a nice class.
Parth Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. A long time we are hearing you. So,
Yeah, I'm also hearing your आपकी आवाज बहुत दिनों बाद सुनाई पड़ रही है हमको भी.
I am you. I mean, all my whatever I have achieved, the qualities, yeah, all because of Vaishnava mercy, Prabhu, and you have rightly reflected the mercy that we have received. At least I have received from the Vaishnavas is unfathomable, and no way that I can repay back. The only way is to I can make others Krishna conscious. Everybody is suffering, and they do not know. Like in the Indra in the pig body was not understanding that he is really suffering. So if everybody
Right.
is in that situation, so yes, and Krishna also says, "Yo, idam guya guhyam madbhakta shobhidhasati." That was
Right.
bhaktimai param kritva mavasiti samsaya. So, and Mahaprabhu also says, "Janma sarthakari karo paropakar." The sarthak may not be possible, but at least we can give them whatever the verses by themselves. Realizations may be difficult for many of us.
Yeah, like our process is to depend on the mercy of the Lord. So let us do our part. Let us do our part, and then not worry so much about the results, right? Let us, if we are trying to serve the devotees, that if and Lord says He gets pleased from that. If He gets pleased from that, like आपकी life भी सार्थक हो जाएगी, right? You'll also, if we are able to satisfy, please the Lord. So Lord is so merciful. Like now, this is Lord is so merciful. Even our little effort, like now, He can give it full mercy to us. Like now, so let us. We have to do our part, right? At least. So.
So merciful. Even like that verse, "Opi chatsa durachara bhajatma sadhu vyavasamantra." So Lord is so forgiving and vadanya, bhaktavatsal. That Chaitamrita was bhaktavatsal kritagga. That is very very grateful. Kritagga samartha, of course, competent and qualified. And Badanya, munificent. So all these qualities, I mean, Vishnu is endowed with, Krishna has all these qualities, so it becomes very, makes Lord very dear to devotees, because Lord is, Krishna is ready to forgive small mistakes here and there, because he has so much mercy on his devotees.
Right.
Yeah, it's so nice to hear from you, Prabhu. Your purifying association and your classic references are so much valued. They really resonate, and it says that Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Sadhaka Bhuna Savanadi Siddha Chitte Karo He Uday. So that Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem gets rekindled by your by audience of your nectarian words. Thank you, Prabhuji. Please.
Prabhuji, I have to take your darshan. You have to turn on your video like now, so I can also perfect myself like it.
Okay, just.
Any other questions, comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Madhavat Pranam to you.
Hare Krishna
Srila
Mataji.
Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for the wonderful class.
Thank you.
So Prabhuji, we've heard from Srila Prabhupada that this world is a Dukhalaya Masastakam. It's a place where it's misery, There are these 7 kinds of misery in total. So 4 and 3 more. So now in the material world, there are people who don't want to even pay heed to this, and they have so much money, and how and especially the parents, they are trying to make the children also just like themselves, you know, take up education, sense gratification, and all that. So, that means this Krishna consciousness is only, we will only be able to preach to people who think that there is unhappiness here and it's dukha, who accept what Prabhupada has given us. For the others, it is very, very hard to preach. Even if you give them book, it will be lying somewhere in their home, and they will not be interested at all. And of course, they, on the contrary, their enjoyment is what? Breaking all the regulations, not
Yeah,
chanting the Lord's name, not reading books. So with those kind of people, yeah, it's not like, I mean, preaching is Prabhupada could do to the hippies, but he was empowered to preach actually by his Guru Maharaj. But, our position is such that I feel like I saying for myself, don't stand anywhere. But yeah, somewhere along the line, some humble soul, innocent person, we come across, and even innocent people sometimes take it up, even if they feel that the world is happy. So, if you can share some thought on this, how do we, do we ask them, are you happy or unhappy, or do you think this world is happy? And if they say, yeah, the world is very, very happy, like you
I,
said, no, they're ready to be a dog also. In your class, you mentioning,
yeah,
it's okay, we are dog next life. They're not, because the thing is that even if they're saying dog in next life, they are not even understanding what kind of life a dog is leading here.
right,
A
right.
dog is eating like a pig, it's eating its own stool. So, isn't it hard, Prabhuji, to preach to people of this category?
Yeah, this is like the reason for that is that they are not able to see it. Pig likes the stool, like why the pig likes the stool? Because he is in that mode of tama, is in mode of ignorance, mode of tamogun. Because everyone our likes and dislikes are based on what mode of nature we are influenced by. So this is the people who are in mode of ignorance. They may not like going to the temple. They like going to the bar, and they can say, okay, that this is they may like that more. So depending on the other thing is because of if someone is in too much into the mode of passion and ignorance, they cannot understand. Even if you give them Bhagavad Gita, if they try to read it, they won't understand anything. This Shastra cannot be understood by the people who are in the passion and ignorance. This is, if there's too much of, so what we have to, the best thing to preach for these kind of people, like I thought devotees are very creative and we see all the time, feed them prasadam. Feed them prasadam. Like the devotees, I see that make nice cookies and they go out and give cookies to everyone, and everyone likes free cookies like now. And the second thing, what I have seen in my experience, if you somehow make them chant, they and Mataji, in my experience, first you serve them instead of, if you directly start preaching, they're not going to listen to you. Everyone has got a very inflated ego. Everyone we are talking to, in their mind, they think I know more than you. So they won't listen to you. They listen only just because of obligation, because you have served them. So they're obligated to listen to you. So when you do that service, if you serve them, you help them, and then they become little positive to listen to you. And then if you can feed them prasadam, somehow invite them to the temple, feed them prasadam, and invite your home. And somehow the other, if you can just trick them to chant. When they start chanting, they start developing that goodness. The mode of goodness becomes like when it becomes little prominent, then we'll start seeing the things. Otherwise, in the people, If you see, Bhagavad Gita says that in the people in the mode of passion and ignorance, they cannot even see the things as they are. So they are in illusion. People only in the mode of goodness can see the things as they are. So how would they see, the people in passion and ignorance, how would they see that this place is a place of suffering? Subah se Sham tak they are being kicked left and right. They see Subah se Sham tak, but they won't see that. They're not seeing that because they are in too much into passion and ignorance. Unless they have that mode of goodness, then only they can make right decision, because they are able to see the things as they are. This is my 2 cents here. If someone else would like to add anything, please go ahead and share your thoughts.
Yes, Prabhuji, you're right.
Yeah, Prabhuji, thank you so much. Thank you for connecting it to that. Mode of passion, ignorance also plays its role, and obviously in a mode of passion, they want to enjoy, and, they always drunk or whatever they're doing. I mean, like that. And one more thing, Prabhuji, like,
Drunk is tamagun,
we
Mataji.
come across Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Danat Pranam.
Hare
Drunk
Krishna.
is tamagun.
Partha Prabhu ki jai. Very nice, Prabhuji.
Vrindavan Vijay Prabhuji ki jai, Samad Bhaktavinda ki jai, all because of your mercy, Prabhuji.
Your mercy, Prabhu. Thank you.
So, Prabhuji, one thing I want to ask, like, we generally, of course, preaching is what you talked about today, but there is one thing we come across, maybe I don't know others come across or not. Now, I'm talking about when we are dealing with non-devotees, there is a specific duplicitous nature people carry these days, and by duplicitous, I mean like, suppose there is a certain thing, like for example, if, they want to give a gift to you, right? So they will say, no, you take it. It's nice. I've given it to you. Don't worry about it. You don't have to pay me. But after some time, they will forget. And then they will say, I gave the gift to you. You can't even say thank you about it. You're so ungrateful. You're this, you're that. So, it's very, 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 minds are very complex to people, like, and of course, like I said, I mean, these people also are the kinds who so desperately need to, come into Krishna consciousness, because the duplicity, like one Prabhuji was saying, it's almost like, there's a small tree, how when you grow any small tree, even small tulsi leaf, tulsi, I love to grow small tulsi plants, because, those leaves that come out are so fresh and green, and, very, it's so nice to see a small baby tulsi growing. But to give a general example, if, like a plant is becoming a tree, or like, growing, so such kind of people, they will water the plant on top, and they're cutting the roots below, so it's like the plant is confused what is going on. So how do we deal with them? How do we deal with them? Because if we get involved with people like this, who are so many in the material world in the Kali Yuga, then preaching का क्या सवाल है? हम तो इसी में फंसे रहेंगे कि भाई, so and so person का ऐसा nature है. We are wondering, what are their mind like? Why are they behaving like this? It's like two personalities in their body. One throwing positive energy, one throwing negative energy. So I don't know if other people come across this, but generally I have to interact with a lot of family and friends who, are like this, and I don't know how to deal with it, or should I not deal with it at all?
Yeah, I think
Prabhuji.
this is the people who are people, they have too much of time to think about all that. Like, this is because they're not in the Krishna consciousness. They're not in any spiritual process, right? They're just in more in materialistic world, and that is and they probably don't know anything better. Like, it's all self glorification. Like as we talked about today, our thought process consciousness should be how to serve others, how to help others. This materialistic people, they have opposite consciousness. How can I be happy? How can I be served? How can I be like, I gave the gift? to so and so, but he did not say thank you to me. Like, this is like, yeah, I think like if you care too much about these things, your own sadhana might be affected. So I think like we should try to like do our best and ignore, like just serve them as much as you can. And this is what I was talking about. Material spiritual life may be difficult, but material world is impossible. Material world is impossible. Like, we cannot. It is designed to frustrate you at the end. Like, that is the purpose. Lord wants us to be frustrated from here. That then only we can think about Him. Then only we can think about going back to Him when we are frustrated here. If you're not frustrated here, if you are comfortable here, then we'll never think about going back to Him, right? So idea is that this whole thing is designed to frustrate ourselves. Whatever you do in materially, so whatever you are doing, even if you're doing if you in some of these situations, like, no, this is you have to make your own judgment, like, no, but if you're just trying to serve people, like, no, most of the time you will see, because you're not doing for your own satisfaction, you're just trying to serve them. Then they will see it, like sooner or later they will see that. Like, it's, at least that is my experience. When you keep your consciousness on helping others and serving others, sooner or later, without expecting anything in return. Here the problem is the example you gave, that Mataji is expecting something in return from you. So that she has given a gift to you and you did not say thank you. So basically, so that is, she was expecting something in return, and that's why she felt a little bit upset. Most of the time people may feel that way, but they won't say that. But some people, probably she came out and she even said that I'm upset. But at least this is material world. This is an imperfect place. This is not a perfect place. But we need to just stick to our sastric principles, what that just try to help others, serve others, and connect them to Krishna consciousness, and pray for them, and sooner or later, like, their consciousness will improve. So this is
Thank you, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, like, I'm thinking that one thing nice you said is, like, when we do seva, it gives pleasure to us, and that keeps us going. Otherwise it's like almost like whether it's seva, temple seva, serving devotees. If you think of it like, suppose we have a Sunday love feast, and a person is not directly preaching, directly in the sense, if a person is I think you were mentioning that preaching involves everything. Like, if a person is, say, cooking, then those new people who are coming on the Sunday feast, they're getting prasadam. Or if someone is coming and seeing, although it's an old temple, but it's very clean, if you're doing the cleaning, they're like, the floor is so clean, we don't even need to wear our feet, slippers anywhere. It's obviously we don't wear slippers in the temple, but most people, they have these home slippers and all. They're like, wow, the floor is so clean. So they're impressed by so many things, and so many devotees have done seva there. So that also kind of comes into preaching. The bathroom is so clean in the temple. Wow, it's smelling so good. There's no foul smell and all. So all these things also come into. So all these sevas that we are doing are also kind of culminated and connected to preaching, I think, right? Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is keeping what keeping our temple nice to attract those people. Like, they come, keep that the deities are dressed nicely, and they look beautiful, and they're offered nice bhoga. They get nice. That is what people are looking for. Everyone is looking for love. Everyone is looking for that love. Like, so when the devotees come to the temple, if we welcome them, receive them nicely, and if they are first time coming, then someone should sit with them and take prasad with them, ask about them, or those things, they go a long way. So second time when they go there, like, at least they can connect themselves with the temple. But most of the temple, Hindu temples, non-ISKCON temples, if you go there, nobody talks to you. If you go there, just take darshan and come out. Like, no, they'll give you some. So there's no personal connection. But at least in ISKCON temple, because we are preaching movement, we are trying to connect the people. Like, so at least some large temples, it might not be happening to the extent it should be. But smaller temples, they do a good job. Like, no, this is. I was in Harrisburg temple. I always did that. Like, now at the end of the program, like, now I'll go and sit with them, all the new devotees, introduce them with other devotees so that they can make a nice group. And I'll sit with them, take prasadam with them, invite them for next time, or let them know about the next upcoming festivals and all that. So that is how they feel connected, like. And they are motivated, they feel like coming back next time. All right,
Yes,
thank you,
Prabhuji.
Mataji.
Yeah, thank you so much for answering, because there are people there, and if one person is throwing a book at you, it doesn't mean we get like disheartened, because I'm going back to the times when Lord Chaitanya was going for Sankirtan. The drums
Yeah,
were drums were broken, and that was Lord
right.
Chaitanya Krishna. So for us, just one book only, they might throw or say what you're doing. But there is other people coming who will, we should take more encouragement from people who are taking the books and ignore the people who are not taking the books. And that helps, and we should always have books with us in our purses, bags, and cars, which is very
Right.
important, because suddenly you can get a book. Otherwise, you feel so helpless. You can't, at that point, you're doing some work, putting the gas, and you have 10 things on your head, and this person
Yeah,
is very friendly, and you want to help him, you cannot speak. So Prabhupada ji said that, what you will speak few words, the person will forget.
yeah,
But
yeah.
my whole book is going to change their life. So yeah, we should encourage. I'm just saying this so I can myself encourage myself to distribute books, because I'm saying all these flowery words, but I'm not doing it. Thank you, Prabhuji.
And always keep that in mind. You cannot change 100% people. Everyone has got his baggage of karmic reactions and so many things, right? But we need to just, our job is to like try. Like, just by trying, we get full marks from Krishna. Like, so says, some people are already, they have done some kind of bhakti in their last life, they'll be immediately connected. Some of them, they are more pious people. The more pious people, they'll easily listen to you, they'll accept what you're saying, and they'll immediately connect it. But the people, like, if they're carrying, if they don't have so many of pious karmic karmas from their past lives or from this life, and that they're more sinful, it might take a little more time for them. We may have to work more on them, right? So sometimes, like, your success rate may not be 100% or 80% or 70%, but we just try and leave it to Lord, and he will connect the people. Like, he'll respond to your efforts of preaching.
Prabhuji, you mentioned that you are from Delhi.
I'm from Kanpur. My parents are in Kanpur. I worked in Delhi for some time. Yeah.
Okay. I was just wondering, like, because whenever I go to India, I go to Delhi. So I just want to know if there's any place or ISKCON center I should visit, and which I can hear from you. But
Yeah.
okay.
Now, right now in the NCR, the Delhi and around, ISKCON had 22 temples. This is
Wow.
5 years back. 22 temples in just NCR region. And in New Delhi itself, we had 3 temples. And the biggest temple is that east of Kailash. So yeah,
So
you should.
Prabhuji, which is the other two temple in Delhi? One is Shri Radha Parthasarthi. What is the other two?
Yeah, that what is the where the Amog Leela Prabhu is there? What is the area, that name? There's
Okay.
Mohan Rupa Prabhu is the president here in the ISKCON east of Kailash, and then there is one in what's the name of that area? Where the Amog Leela Prabhu is there. That what
is
is
it
that?
Rohini? No, Rohini.
No.
Dwarka.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think
Rohini
it is.
Mata.
Yeah.
Dwarka.
Rohini.
Yeah, it's like there are 3 temples in Delhi, New Delhi. So yeah, I think
Main
मैंने एक ही देखा है.
yeah, there are like the I think original temple is the east of Kailash. Is the bigger one, the biggest one.
Yeah, that's on the hilltop like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
east of Kailash in South Delhi.
Amog Leela
Okay.
Prabhu is in Dwarka.
Where?
Dwarka.
Dwarka.
Okay.
Dwarka, yeah. So Dwarka is one temple. And there's another one.
There's one in Punjabi Bagh in Delhi.
Yeah. There's one in Punjabi Bagh. Correct. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah.
Is
There's one in
that a very big one also? Punjabi Bagh is a very big one?
No, it's not very big. It's
East
not
of
very
Kailash
big.
is the biggest temple. Like
East of Kailash is the biggest.
Yeah.
Oh,
East of
okay.
Hare
Yeah,
Krishna,
Mohan
Prabhuji.
there.
I thought you may be almost ending the class. This is Geeta Mataji. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Mataji.
I just
Hare
wanted
Krishna.
a question, Prabhuji, that when you said about the scorpion and Srila Prabhupada said he don't disturb. Scorpion also is a devotee. But in our case, it is difficult for us to ignore what if,
Yep. Mataji, we are not pure devotees. The point was that pure devotees, they don't discriminate.
right.
So we are not pure devotees. So like even at the Madhyam Adhikari stage, we are supposed to discriminate, at least to discriminate who to preach, who not to preach. So even the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita that you should not give this Bhagavad Gita message, or you should not try to preach envious people. If you see in chapter 18, Lord says in this one of the verses that you should not try to preach this science of Bhagavad Gita to envious people. Envious people means all these people who do not believe in God. All this scientist community and all this atheistic community. They say you should not preach them. But devotees are so merciful. They don't. They go and preach, try to connect everyone. Right. So Lord is advising not to preach to those people like. So this is, but in our stage we are not advanced to that stage where we can see everyone as a devotee. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was going through the Jharkhanda forest, when you were chanting, even all the animals, even the tigers and everyone was chanting.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So that is his consciousness. That is how he's not seeing. If you see tiger as a tiger, you will not go near to him. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was seeing them as a soul. He was not seeing these pure devotees. They don't see the body. They see the soul, and when they see that, they don't discriminate like no. So even the animals were like dancing and chanting with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was passing through that forest. So that's like in our situation we may not see that way, but slowly, hopefully, they will come. Mataji, you'll also see that.
Yes,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you. Thank
And
you.
the tiger also lost its propensity to kill. Was dancing. The tiger. So everybody became in a mode of goodness. The animals.
It is sound vibrations of this Lord's holy name. They're so strong. But if they're coming from a mouth of pure devotee, they show their potency, they show their power. But coming like a fallen person like me has no power. So that's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was chanting, he was purifying everyone. all around, he was purifying. Everyone was delivered like around him, all the insects and birds and animals and everything, trees, everything. So this is, but yeah, sometimes like this is feels difficult at our stage. How can? But of course, like this in our stage, if you see a scorpion, you try to just sweep it out of the house.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All right, Mataji,
Hare
at
Krishna,
9 o'clock.
Thank you so much for this wonderful class and explaining so nicely about the preaching, how we can spread the Krishna consciousness and pass on the whatever the devotees did for us and their mercy. So thank you so much.
Mataji.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. So
Hare
you did
Krishna.
only one verse, right, Prabhuji?
Yes, 24.
Okay.
So I'll stop here. It's 9 o'clock and it's a work day for me. I have to go back to work. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Vanchakaltarubhyacha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna.
Srimad
Hare
Bhagavatam ki
Krishna.
jai,
Thank you,
Srimad
Vijay.
Bhagavatam ki jai. His
Thank you,
Grace
Vijay.
Vrindavan Vijay Prabhu ki jai. Thank you so much.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.